Hello everyone, welcome back to another video for the One Piece trading card game. In this video, we start the leader reviews for the second set Paramount War. This video will be about the black starter deck leader, Sakazuki. Let's begin. Sakazuki is the special attribute and has the marine trait. He has an ability that says activate main once per turn, rest 3 Dawn, discard a card from your hand, KO up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 0. Sakazuki is one of two mono black leaders. Obviously, this is the first set that black is going to be in the game, so they won't have a leader from set 1. So we need to look at the color as a whole here. And just with the cards in this starter deck and the second set, I can definitely say black is probably going to be really strong. They have a lot of aggro tools and a lot of removal. Hey, look at this leader, even. Just for putting something to 0 cost, which a lot of the cards in black reduce cost since that's their main game plan, you can easily kill something for free. And that just makes Sakazuki super strong. I do think that there are better black leaders, but this is a starter deck leader, so I wouldn't expect him to be the strongest black leader. This is just a baseline for the color, and I do think it is a strong baseline for the color. I think Sakazuki definitely could see a lot of play, and I am hopeful to see what ends up happening with him. Next, since Sakazuki is a starter deck leader, he comes with two super rares we need to review. The first one is Smoker. Smoker is a 5-cost 7k with the special attribute and the Marines trait. He has the abilities, this card cannot be KO'd by card effects, and Don X1. As long as there's a character that costs 0 in play, this card gains double attack. Smoker is just an all-around great card. He has good stats for his cost, and the ability to not be removed by card effects makes him an immediate threat. He has the ability to gain double attack, which is fairly easy since black wants to decrease the cost on characters, and he can easily come down as early as turn 3 if you're going first, and make your opponent take life, because it's really hard to block a 7k that early. You don't want to lose that many cards. Even though Smoker isn't super strong in Sakazuki himself, since Sakazuki is more of a slower control deck, Smoker definitely will make use inside of the Smoker leader, who has a very similar ability to this, so can't wait to see this Smoker shine in that deck, since I think that deck definitely has a lot of synergy going for it. The second super rare inside of the Mono Black starter deck is Monkey D. Garp. Garp is a 5-cost 6k with the Strike attribute and the Marines trait. Garp has the ability, activate main, discard a card from your hand, and rest this character. KO up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 4 or less. Even though Garp isn't amazing into a lot of matchups, Garp will definitely shine in a few. Decks like Mono Red Aggro, Don Quixote, Eustace Kid, Kazuki Odin, Kinemon, these are all decks that play fairly cheap cards, or cards that are maybe a little more than 4, but you can easily drop down with some of your card effects, and Garp just lets you control the board, and he's really hard to deal with. The 6k body is pretty hard to swing into when your opponent has no characters in play, and I just think that a repeatable removal on a character is decent and might see play, and I think Garp will definitely see play in several situations. Next is a deck built with just 2 of the black starter decks. This deck has 4 Kobe, 4 Helmeppo, 4 Suru, 4 Tashigi, 4 Hina, 3 Momonga, 4 Sengoku, 4 Smoker, 4 Monkey D. Garp, 4 Great Eruption, 3 Whiteout, 4 Impact Wave, and 4 Marineford. Looking at this deck, we can see a ton of synergy. We have a lot of cost reducers to help us use our leader's ability, and we have some extra removal effects in case we need to deal with more things. 2 cards I specifically want to talk about before we move on to the deck including the set is Great Eruption and Marineford. Great Eruption is a 1 cost event that says main, draw 1 card, then give up to one of your opponent's characters -2 to their cost during this turn. And it has a trigger of your opponent discards a card from their hand. No matter when you get this card, either it be off a trigger or playing it from your hand, it can seemingly replace itself. Even though the trigger it won't replace itself, it'll make your opponent get rid of a card. And for only 1 mana, that's a perfect effect. The other card, Marineford, is a great stage, being able to reduce the cost of something every turn it's in play, and we don't mind having multiple copies of it, since the extra copies we draw will just be discarded to some of our card effects, like our leader Sakazuki. So it's fine playing 4 of them when they can just turn into removal spells later. Next, we have a deck list that I think will be fairly competitive for the leader Sakazuki. This deck has 4 Bellamere, 4 Set 2 Suru, 4 Isuka, 4 Set 2 Kobe, 4 Borsellino, 4 Kuzan, 4 Starter Deck Sengoku, 3 Starter Deck Monkey D. Garp, 3 Set 2 Hina, 4 Sakazuki, 4 Great Eruption, 4 Impact Wave, and 4 Marineford. This deck wants to keep our opponent at bay by removing their threats as efficiently as possible. We have a few small characters that reduce costs, like Bellamere and Suru, who give us a bit of advantage in the early game, and we have some cards that have a lot more devastating reductions, such as Kuzan and Sengoku. Cards that I wanted to talk about specifically in this list are going to be Set 2 Kobe. Unlike the starter deck Kobe, who is a 1 cost 1k, this just has stats to back it up, being a 3 cost 4k, and the ability to carry with 3 cost instead of a 0 cost makes this Kobe a lot better than its starter deck counterpart. Another card I wanted to talk about was Hina. Having the ability to lock down 2 characters when they block once is very good versus a lot of the aggro matchups. Not being able to swing into your board is a big limit to opponents' decks, since Hina can easily stop 2 of their characters, leaving your board safe. Especially because 2 of your bigger cost reducers, Kuzan and Sengoku, need to attack, meaning they will be rested and able to be swung at whenever you use their cost reducing abilities. The last card I specifically wanted to talk about is Sakazuki himself, the Set 2 Super Rare. He is a 6 cost 7k with a similar effect to the leader, where you discard a card and KO something, but he'll KO something a bit bigger at a cost of 5 or less. This deck has a ton of removal and a ton of cost reducers, and hopefully a deck similar to this, or this deck, because I think this deck is pretty strong, will be able to take down some events with its strong board control capabilities. That's going to be all for this video. I hope you enjoyed. I'm excited to see how the meta plays out with these cards from Set 2. I think every color, maybe except green, got a lot of tools that'll make it really fun, and even green got a few that I'm sure we'll see play. Next week will probably be the mono red leader Edward Newgate, so I hope you'll join me for that. But with that said, I hope you all have a good day, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.